Hello, friends, and welcome into NFL Daily. I am Tom Downey. The Senior Bowl is already underway. Practices have started. Let's take a look at some noteworthy players to watch. I've got 12 in total, plus some others that, of course, we'll discuss too. At quarterback, only mentioning one here because I'm trying not to do 8 different quarterbacks, so I guess 6 this year. Jordan Love is the one I'm going to watch out for. We'll talk about Justin Herbert in just a second. Don't worry. Love has the chance to influence his draft stock more than most of the top quarterbacks this year at the Senior Bowl. His upside remains high. He clearly needs work. Frankly, needs probably a year sitting behind a veteran quarterback in the NFL. But for the first time in his college career, Jordan Love's playing with NFL caliber players beyond just, one backfield member in Darwin Thompson. And you could see the regression this year from Jordan Love. That's a big red flag. If those numbers were flipped, if Jordan Love's 2018 season was actually his 2019 season, everybody would be in love with it because you have a quarterback who has all the tools you want and showed progression. Love, however, was not as good this past year. The team around him, the coaching change, clearly a negative influence. But with better skill position guys, perhaps Love can show some more consistency and get himself into the first round as a high upside, high risk player. Now, of course, Love is not the only quarterback there this week. Anthony Gordon, Steven Montez, Shea Patterson, late round guys at best. Jalen Hurts is going to wow teams in meetings and he's a fantastic leader. And then Justin Herbert, the better quarterback, I believe, of the two here between Jordan Love and Herbert. It's not an elite quarterback group, but those 6, frankly, should be on NFL roster this upcoming year. So pick a quarterback. Would you rather have Justin Herbert on your team, or would you rather have Jordan Love? If you guys have watched our videos for a while now, you know I was on Jordan Love this time last year at the end of the college season, looking at the 2020 draft class. I'm still going to take Herbert, though. Both these players have some concerns, some inconsistencies to iron out, but I feel better about taking Herbert right now than I do Jordan Love. Running back, it's not a great group, but I will shout out Eno Benjamin. Kind of reminds me of a Duke Johnson type, super elusive player, makes tacklers miss. He's not going to be a guy that the pre-draft all-star process doesn't really favor, guys in the backfield, the RBs, because, well, there's not really much tackling until you get to the game. But he's great in the passing game. I have doubts he's a true 3-down featured back, but he's definitely going to be an impact player in the NFL because of that passing game ability. Now, a question for you guys. Both bowls are this week. So which is better? Type S for the Senior Bowl or type P for the Pro Bowl? I don't know about you. I hate the Pro Bowl. I think it's dumb. It doesn't mean anything. So I am typing in my S for Senior. You guys can go cast your votes. If you're watching on YouTube, you might get it with an ad break here. If you do, scroll on down to the pinned comment. You can cast your votes right there for S for Senior or P for Pro. Wide receiver Van Jefferson, and I'll make this note right now because I'll make it 1,000 times this pre-draft process. Oh my God, there are so many good receivers. There are so many that I enjoy watching, and that's the case for the Senior Bowl. Jefferson's coming off his best season. He is a very strong route runner, very good in that role. Now, he is older. Fun fact, he actually began his career at Ole Miss, where his freshman year had more yards than everyone on that roster, which included A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf, not Evan Ingram. Ingram had more yards than Jefferson did. That team won 5 games. Crazy, right? Jefferson is a good route runner, as I mentioned. He should have success at Senior Bowl, some inside-outside flex. I would say more of an outside guy right now, but can do both. And there are a lot of good outside receivers this year at the Senior Bowl. So my humblest apologies to Jawan Jennings, Michael Pittman Jr., Colin Johnson, Denzel Mims, Chase Claypool, Antonio Gandy Golden even. Other really good Senior Bowl wide receiver prospects, as we'll discuss. Not a great cornerback group. I have every expectation that these receivers put on a show this week in practice and in the game. Players like Pittman and Mims already making some big-time plays, as has Van Jefferson. Let's talk Super Bowl very briefly. A different type of bowl. We've got the Pro, Senior, and, of course, Super Bowl, the most important of them all. There are also some MVP odds out on BetDSI. Patrick Mahomes, the betting favorite, minus 105. Then a big drop down to the second place guy. That's Jimmy Garoppolo, plus 280. So if you want to bet on who you think will win the Super Bowl MVP, go do it right now on BetDSI. It's chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code NFL120. Gets you 120% deposit. But think about it this way. You use that deposit bonus, you're playing with house money. on some really high odds on Super Bowl MVP and all kinds of prop bets. It's on BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet, promo code NFL120. I wanted to do one player per position, but I couldn't. I had to add an extra receiver in there. That's KJ Hill. And there are some Terry McLaurin type vibes I'm getting in terms of didn't do a whole lot downfield at Ohio State, but has the traits and the ability to actually do that. Great route runner, great hands as well. Played almost exclusively the slot at Ohio State and is just getting open in the Senior Bowl. I like KJ Hill quite a bit. There are also quite a few receivers that are mostly slot guys this year at the Senior Bowl. You've got Devin Duvernay, who really impressed this year. James Prochet out of SMU. Also a name just to kind of keep in the back of your mind, Courtney Davis, who, much like KJ Hill, has the traits to be a vertical threat, but was not used in that way. I wonder, is that scheme? Was it because Kellen Mond's not a great quarterback? I'm curious to see how it all breaks down for those types of players. Now, these are just players to watch at the Senior Bowl. After the week of practices, after the games as well, or the game I should say as well, we'll do Senior Bowl winners and losers, some players who helped their draft stock and some who didn't, like early results. Nick Harris and Washington, not looking great. So if you want that, hit the big red button. Make sure you've got notifications turned on. That will come out early Sunday morning. You can wake up and watch and check out, hey, who's helping their draft stock at the Senior Bowl. A player I have mentioned before, and I will continue to watch out for, is Adam Trotman, the tight end out of Dayton. He is a big athlete, like huge, big body, big size guy who lined up straight up everywhere for Dayton. Now, there is still some rawness in him, but he's 6'5", 251, has that great size you want. And the production at Dayton, it was totally against lesser competition. Don't get me wrong. But 70 catches, 916 yards, 14 touchdowns. Oh boy, that's pretty crazy and incredible right there for Adam Trotman. It's a very, I would say, growing on me tight end class. Adam Trotman's one of them. There are other tight ends, of course, at the Senior Bowl this week. Harrison Bryant, kind of a move tight end. Bryson Hopkins, Jared Pinkney, guys I think could be top 100 day 2 picks. Maybe not all of them, but I think the majority of those guys, along, of course, with Trotman. Steven Sullivan, who was more of a receiver at LSU, moving to tight end. Sean McCune as well out of Michigan. Next up is Josh Jones, and there aren't that many first-round picks, or at least lock first-round picks, at the Senior Bowl, but Jones could sneak his way into the back end of round 1. He's got great size, good athlete, dominated the competition at Houston, allowed just 1 sack and 3 hurries with the Cougars. Now, the offensive scheme is designed to make life easier on your tackles, but that production's really impressive. The technique does need work. He's facing better players. Let's see how he stands up. If he does well, he could be a first-round pick. A guy who is a first-round pick because he's the best damn player at the Senior Bowl, that is Javon Kinlaw. Now, he is still developing, still kind of on the underexperienced side of things, but he has the traits and the skills that NFL teams want. And here's kind of the way I sum up Javon Kinlaw. He is an absolutely massive. He's got a 7-foot wingspan at 6'5". That length is invaluable on the interior of the defensive line. The sacks were only 6. The pressure rate was pretty darn high among college football players. When you have his size, his skill set, his athletic ability, that normally means you have a pretty damn good football player on your hands, and it tends to work out in the NFL. Now, this week, Kinlaw is my favorite player at the Senior Bowl. He's my number 1 guy on my board. That's down there. But let me know in the comments section, who's your favorite player? Not to be the best player, just the one that you like the most, which could even mean just the guy that you're the biggest fan of because he went to your favorite school. Next up, we'll stick on the defensive line. Marlon Davidson. I am very curious how he fares throughout the week. And he's kind of a tweener. He played edge at Auburn, but that's not going to be his NFL home. He is going to have to kick inside. And at weigh-ins, he checked in a little over 6'3", 6'3 and a quarter, 297. That is interior defensive line size. That also changed from edge rusher to defensive tackle. It's scary. The position change brings upside of being more than what he was at Auburn. And I didn't love him as an edge guy. He was just a power guy. It also brings risk. We haven't seen Marlon Davidson play all that much as a true interior lineman. That's intriguing. It's also risky. It's a worthwhile gamble. If he dominates the offensive line, he should be able to. that could be a big boost for him. That is definitely something I'm going to be watching out for throughout this week of practice, seeing how he fares, seeing how he checks in against those offensive linemen. If he can step up, he'll get himself into early day 2. A player I am definitely going to watch, Zack Baun out of Wisconsin, because I'm not sure where he plays in the NFL. Is he going to be an off-ball linebacker or an edge? At Wisconsin this year, he played almost exclusively at edge. Only like 10% of his snaps came as an off-ball pass rusher. But he's undersized. He checked in at about 6'2.5", 240 pounds at the Senior Bowl. You don't often find guys that size. He's a really good pass rusher, though. If you trust him to be an edge guy, maybe he sneaks into the back end of round 1. If you don't, you probably need to push him down. You're hoping, worst case, can he be an Anthony Barr type guy? Or is he going to end up being Hassan Reddick, which has not turned out very well for the Cardinals, and that's did at Temple. Let's talk about the top Michigan prospect at the Senior Bowl this week. That is Josh Uche, the edge rusher linebacker hybrid out of Michigan, kind of like Zack Baun. Early returns on Uche at the Senior Bowl might be better than Zack Baun. Now, he is undersized. He checked in at the Senior Bowl, 6'1" and 3/8 inches, 241 pounds. That was shorter than Michigan listed him as, but also Michigan always lies about their sizes on their official site. But he's looked really good, not just beating offensive linemen, but also in coverage. Now, Uche was also kind of a hybrid guy for Michigan, lined up as a linebacker, as an edge rusher, but he did have success. He did and was able to get home against the pass rush, against both guards and tackles. I am excited to see him. If he keeps this up, he's probably going to get himself into the top 50, in all honesty. That's the way we're trending. NFL teams covet pass rushers. If Uche's doing that despite his size, an NFL team will take an early round gamble on him. All right, some other Michigan players at the Senior Bowl. Ben Bredesen, the offensive lineman. Blake Hudson played linebacker and safety. He was kind of in that Viper role at Michigan. I'm very curious to see how he's used throughout the week of practice. He could be more of a safety guy in the NFL, or maybe a sub-package linebacker. You got versatility there. Josh Metellus, Sean McKeon, those guys are late-round prospects. Senior Bowl's pretty big for Shea Patterson, not just in practice. How does he get along with the coaching staff? How does he do in meetings? That's going to be a big deal. But make no mistake, Josh Uche is the one to watch. Of these 6 guys down there in Mobile, Alabama, he's going to, I think, be the first guy taken in the 2020 NFL Draft. Today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code NFL120. It gets you a 120% deposit bonus. That's chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code NFL120 for a sweet, sweet 120% deposit bonus. As I mentioned earlier, the cornerback grouping, not great. Christian Fulton had to bail late. Jeff Gladney bailed late too. There go your 2 best guys. So there are other options here. Troy Pride at Notre Dame is one of them. I'll point out Darnay Holmes. He is the type of player who will get some coaching staff, some scouts guys there to really like him. I call him a splash player because he makes a lot of great plays for him. This is a guy who ran step for step with Marquise Brown last year when he was at Oklahoma, made a great interception. And this past year, it wasn't all that great. It was a bit banged up, got beat, gives up big plays, makes big plays. He'll make some splash plays at the Senior Bowl. That will help out his draft stock. Super fast, undersized though. I think he ends up being a nickel corner in the NFL. All right, save time. Also, we're not doing kickers, punters. Come on, guys. Who do you think I am? Kyle Duggar. Interesting player out of Lenore Rye. Bonus points to anyone who says where that's actually at in the comments section. I've mentioned it before because he has freak potential. 6 foot and 3/4 inches, so almost 6'1", 217, was the punt returner and the return man for the Bears of Lenore Rye, which is super interesting to me. And oh, by the way, despite playing in 7 games this year, won the Cliff Harris Award for the best D2 defensive player. He now gets a chance to shine against better players. I kind of think what we're going to see at Kyle is he's going to match up against a good tight end crop at the Senior Bowl. If he does do that, well, then look out, because now you have a prospect, super, maybe raw, but athletic as all get out, can stop tight ends. That is heavily coveted in today's NFL.